Somewhere beneath the surface of post-war America, behind locked doors and classified memorandums, a secret was being kept. Not the kind whispered between diplomats or buried in foreign soil, but one cultivated inside the very institutions sworn to protect the nation. The Cold War had transformed the world into a chessboard, and every government, every intelligence agency, every scientist with a clearance badge was searching for an edge. The Central Intelligence Agency was no different. What emerged from that desperate search was one of the most disturbing chapters in modern American history, a covert program that tested the absolute boundaries of human psychology, ethics, and governmental power. Its name was MKUltra, and for decades, most of the world had no idea it existed. The year was 1953, the Korean War had just ended, and American intelligence officials were deeply unsettled by reports that enemy forces had developed techniques capable of breaking the human mind, extracting confessions, and reprogramming loyalty. Soviet and Chinese interrogation methods appeared to produce results that defied conventional understanding. The Central Intelligence Agency, operating under Director Allen Dulles, responded not with skepticism, but with urgency. If the enemy had unlocked something within the human mind, then America needed to find it first. On April 13, 1953, Dulles officially authorized what would become MKUltra, a sprawling, compartmentalized research program designed to explore the possibilities of mind control, behavioral modification, and psychological manipulation. It was signed into existence with a single directive, and the machinery of secrecy began to turn. MKUltra was not a single experiment. It was an umbrella program that eventually encompassed over 150 individual research projects spread across universities, hospitals, prisons, and private institutions across the United States and Canada. The program was deliberately fragmented so that no single person could see the full picture. Researchers at one institution had no knowledge of what was happening at another. Funding was funneled through front organizations and academic grants to obscure the Central Intelligence Agency's involvement. Scientists, psychiatrists, and chemists were recruited, some knowingly, others completely unaware of who was ultimately directing their work. The architecture of the program was designed with one goal in mind: plausible deniability. If anything surfaced, the trail would lead nowhere. At the center of MKUltra's research was a substance that had only recently entered the scientific world: lysergic acid diethylamide, commonly known as LSD. Agency scientists believed that this powerful hallucinogenic compound might hold the key to breaking down psychological resistance, extracting information, or even implanting new behavioral patterns. Testing began under controlled conditions, but it did not remain there for long. Unwitting subjects, including prisoners, mental patients, and ordinary civilians, were administered the drug without their knowledge or consent. One of the most chilling examples was a program called Operation Midnight Climax, in which Central Intelligence Agency operatives set up safe houses in San Francisco and New York where men were lured in and secretly dosed with LSD while agents observed from behind one-way mirrors. The results were documented, the subjects were not informed, and the ethical violations were staggering. Among the most haunting cases to emerge from MKUltra was that of Frank Olson, a United States Army biochemist working with the Central Intelligence Agency. In November of 1953, Olson was secretly given LSD during a work retreat at a cabin in Maryland. Days later, he fell from a 10th-floor window of a New York hotel and died. The official ruling was suicide. His family was told nothing of the drug, nothing of the program, and nothing of what had truly happened in the days leading up to his death. It was not until 1975, when a congressional investigation began pulling back the curtain on MKUltra, that the Olson family learned the truth. Frank Olson's death became a symbol of the human cost buried beneath the program's classified files, a reminder that behind every document stamped top secret was a real person whose life had been irrevocably altered. The program might have remained hidden indefinitely had it not been for a combination of investigative journalism, political pressure, and a remarkable stroke of archival survival. In 1973, as the Watergate scandal consumed Washington, Central Intelligence Agency Director Richard Helms ordered the destruction of all MKUltra files. Most were shredded, but a significant cache of documents had been misfiled in a financial records building and survived. When the Church Committee, a Senate Select Committee investigating intelligence abuses, began its work in 1975, these documents became the foundation of a national reckoning. Witnesses were called, testimonies were given. The American public learned for the first time that their own government had conducted secret experiments on unwitting citizens in the name of national security. The hearings were televised. The reaction was one of profound disbelief and outrage. The surviving documents painted a picture that was both methodical and deeply troubling. Researchers had explored not only LSD but also hypnosis, sensory deprivation, electroconvulsive therapy, psychological torture, and the use of various drugs, including barbiturates and amphetamines. Some experiments were conducted on children. Some were conducted in psychiatric institutions where patients had no ability to refuse. The program had operated across at least 80 institutions, including 44 universities and colleges, 15 research foundations, 12 hospitals, and 3 prisons. The scale was not that of a rogue operation. It was a systematic, bureaucratically managed program that had functioned for over 2 decades with the knowledge and authorization of senior intelligence officials. Decades have passed since the Church Committee hearings, and MKUltra has moved from classified secret to documented history. Yet the questions it raises have never fully been resolved. How many participants were never identified? How many experiments were destroyed along with the files that Richard Helms ordered, shredded? How many individuals carried the psychological consequences of those experiments without ever knowing the source of their suffering? The Central Intelligence Agency has acknowledged the program's existence and expressed regret, but the full scope of what occurred may never be known. What the surviving documents reveal is troubling enough. What they do not reveal may be more troubling still. As those classified files open one by one, each page a fragment of a larger truth, the most unsettling realization is not what was done in secret, but how long it remained that way, and how much may still be waiting to be found.